Stock up and stock down. Today, we're going to go over the players whose stock has gone up in the offseason and training camp, and the players whose stock has gone down during the offseason and training camp. And also, we're going to talk about the preparation for the joint practice tomorrow. The Denver Broncos fly out tonight, and they will be reporting tomorrow. So we're going to check and we're going to go over what we expect to see and what we think the game plan is going to be and how we think who's going to be the X factors and how we think it's going to turn out. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon on this Wednesday. Welcome to another episode.
Tune in, now it's time to sit. Orange and blue, we never quit. Bronco Fridays lit legit. Every week we're bringing grit. Orange and blue, we bring the heat. Podcast grinding can't be beat. Every play, every style we meet. Blitz so hard it's on repeat. Mile high dreams we elevate. Break it down, we narrate. From the field to the fan debate. Broncos country, we dominate. We got the passion, we got the drive. Orange and blue keeps us alive. Every tackle, every stride. It's the place where legends thrive.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Orange and Blue Blitz, brought to you by the Orange and Blue Network in partnership with MHRT and powered by Broncos World Order. Guys, thank you for tuning on this slow Wednesday that we have today, where there's no practice, there's no updates, because the Denver Broncos are flying out to Santa Clara for a joint practice against the 49ers, and they will stay out there until Saturday. They'll probably have a light walk through Friday, and then Saturday's joint practice at 10 p.m. Central Time. So that's what we're looking forward to this week. But before we do that, let us go over our usual business. If you guys are here from MHRT, make sure you guys head over to Orange and Blue Network. We're almost to our 539 subscriber number. So if you guys are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to YouTube, and that automatically puts you in the running for a free Bo Nix jersey when we hit 539 subscribers. If you're wondering why 539 specifically, that was Peyton Manning's all-time record for passing touchdowns, which he broke as a Denver Bronco. So that is the number that we are going to hit for a free jersey giveaway. But not only follow us on YouTube, but follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you guys are here from Orange and Blue Network, go over to our partners, MHRT, and go ahead and subscribe to their YouTube channel. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch as well. And guys, we want to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this show, W, West Coast W. W was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. That jitters or crash is very important. You don't want the high sugar rush of anxiety and having to move around, because immediately following that is a crash. It's awful when you want to be productive during the day or you're at work. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Neurofactor. It includes no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. And for 10% off, guys, make sure you guys head over to W. And you guys use code NRWOB10 for 10% off, NRWOB10 for 10% off. All right, let's get down to the Broncos. Tiana in the comment section as always. I love the Broncos like always. Fanatic Dak, what's up, dog? Shy's in the building. Hype Shy. Shy the hype man. What's up, dog? So we are appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Today it's going to be one of our shows, usually 30 minutes, but it may be a little shortened today. But we're going to talk about stock up, stock down. We're going to go offense, defense, stock up, offense, defense, stock down. And then we're going to go into our expectations for the joint practice. Obviously, we expect to win the day. But we're going to go into some details as to why we believe that. Thanks for the likes, the thumbs up, and the heart button. We're going to go into the offensive structure of Kyle Shanahan and the Niners, the defensive structure that they have there. I think they just bought Robert Saleh back as a defensive coordinator. So whatever the Jets ran, The Niners will run Sean Payton. We already beat the Jets, so he understands what their defense is. They like to run a lot of zone. Bo Nix is very good against the zone. And we're going to talk about their offense with their offensive zone scheme and how that's not going to be successful against our defense. And then we're going to speculate. I think I know Alex Singleton and Dre Greenlaw were padded this week. Alex Singleton was padded but didn't participate in team activities. And I believe Dre Greenlaw was back out yesterday in pads but didn't participate in team activities. So they've had a few days off of rest, including today. And then tomorrow hopefully they'll suit up against their former team. So that's going to be interesting. Shy Vargas, today is his birthday. Do we have a happy birthday thing in here? Happy birthday, Shy, from the Orange and Blue Network, from the MHRT community, and from Broncos World Power. We absolutely salute you for your birthday. You gotta let us know how old you are, dude, and what are you doing for your birthday? Don't skip out on any details. Let us know. Happy birthday, Shy. Let's see if we have a birthday thing in here. What's wrong with this? Let's see. What is the matter with this? StreamYard's being weird. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But we don't have a happy birthday. But happy birthday to you, Shy. Let us know how old you are and what you are planning to do for your birthday. And so, all right. Stock up, stock down. Obviously, we know the two. I'm going to go. How many do I have on offense? I have 2 on offense. I have 2, possibly 3, but I'm not going to include the third. 29, same age, bud. 29 years old on Saturday, and he's going to Longhorn Steakhouse. Excellent birthday choice. Johnny Mahai Vikings says, happy birthday, Shy. Orange and Blue Network loves you, brother. We love you. Mahai, salute, Shy. We hope you enjoy your birthday. We're happy for you. Obviously, right off the bat is Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin is a stock up for this offseason, for this training camp. And I tweeted this yesterday. If you guys follow me at Bronco Gentleman on Twitter, I have seen nothing but Troy Franklin on my timeline every single day of training camp. I haven't heard one bad thing. I haven't heard one regression. I've just heard days being stacked on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other, on top of each other. I tweeted something that someone disagreed with, which is fine. But I said, and I was watching, what was I watching? Jameson Williams highlights from the Detroit Lions. And the build between Jameson and Troy Franklin is very similar. He's 6'1", 180, 185. Troy Franklin 6'3", 185, 190. So they're about the same build, just as fast. And so the way they used him, I can see Troy Franklin being used that way. And Jameson's route tree is expansive. He runs drag routes, under routes, dig routes, out routes, corner routes, deep routes, seam routes, post routes. He runs all of it. And I think that's what Troy Franklin is turning into and is going to become. Because remember, Dan Campbell came from the Sean Payton tree. So I'm not surprised that he hired an offensive coordinator that runs an offense that demands rhythm and timing from the quarterback. Which is what Sean Payton demands from his quarterbacks and Bo Nix. But I think with Troy Franklin, that catch in the playoffs last year, and plus whatever he did in the offseason, he just grew his confidence. It feels like to me in the offseason, after that playoff touchdown, it seems as if Troy Franklin never let his confidence stay stagnant, or he never let it stay in one place, which means he didn't lose confidence, and he wasn't satisfied with his confidence level. It seems like his confidence was always improving in the offseason, and that just turned into production and efficiency and training camp in the offseason. So he's got shout outs from his head coach, from the offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi. Bo Nix has talked about him. And so I remember I posed a question about a week ago when we first started hearing about Troy Franklin having a good offseason was, can Troy Franklin make a push for wide receiver 2? Or can he, what Sean Payton said in the offseason was they're not positioning for necessarily depth chart position, but snaps. And so what it sounded like to me, especially with this joint practice, I think that's where he's going to shine. I think Troy Franklin is going to shine in this joint practice. shine because there's no film on him. He runs a 4.3 40 and he's 6'3". There's no film on him. I think he's going to absolutely shine at this joint practice. But he seems through this offseason, he's getting more snaps. But the question is, who is he taking those snaps from? And that's where we're going to get to the stock down later. But one stock up is definitely Troy Franklin. I don't have a stat prediction for him. It's just hard for me to see yet. I think maybe definitely after the preseason, in between the preseason and the regular game, we'll watch some film. We'll see the games, and then we'll go over and redo a stat prediction. But definitely one stock up is Troy Franklin. And it's good that the young wide receiver core, the young receivers, especially Bo's receiver in Oregon, as Dak says, duck season, it's good. That's what more you ask for than for Bo Nix's college receiver to take that next step. And it's almost as if, Bo had a really elite rookie year and he's still taking that next step, but it's as if Bo and Troy took that step together, where Bo's confidence in the playbook and his play style, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Thanks for smashing the like button, changed, increased. And it also seems like Troy Franklin's confidence increased as well. It seems that connection is coming back. And it seems that the next stock up, what I would have to say is Pat Bryant. I have to say it's Pat Bryant. And I chose the two young receivers as stock ups because every time I heard something about Troy Franklin doing it on the day, I'm hearing it about Pat Bryant. But the difference for me is I was hearing Pat Bryant's name with every quarterback, first, second, and third string. Same with Troy Franklin. But as a rookie coming in, and he's definitely having a different rookie season than Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin struggled his rookie season. He was getting yelled at a lot. He was getting cursed at a lot. He was dealing with alignment issues, trying to get snaps and stuff like that. Pat Bryant seems to have less of that issue and seems to be producing immediately. So for a rookie receiver, third-round receiver to come in and really step up and make a name for himself and have his name constantly out there in conversations in Broncos country is another good thing for this receiving core. So on the offense side of the ball, I didn't say Dobbins or I didn't say Harvey because it's hard with running back, especially against an elite defense like the Broncos. But there was an honorable mention. I was going to say Evan Ingram because he came in and connected with Bo. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Immediately made a difference. You saw his name all over the place. You see the connection, but that's also somewhat expected. I wouldn't say his stock is up. I'd say his stock was already high and it stayed there. I think the joint practice, and I think the preseason will increase it. I think two guys in the offseason in the joint practice are going to do well. 3, RJ Harvey, Evan Ingram, and Troy Franklin. Those are my 3 standouts for joint practice. Those are my predictions. But those were the honorable mentions. But I'm going to stick with Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant, the young receiving core for Bo Nix. Honorable mentions is Evan Ingram. So for defense, stock up. Kathy Salazar in the comments. She says, "Yay Broncos, Maha salute, go Broncos." Get ready for some football this Saturday. Late game, but it's football nonetheless. Broncos football at that. Defense. I'm going to have to go with two people. One you guys already know. That's Lavelle Bailey. Lavelle Bailey stock way to the moon. I think there's only one person stock who's higher than Lavelle Bailey this offseason in training camp, and that's Troy Franklin. But Lavelle Bailey, last year, he really stepped up. He had a pick 6 in pass coverage. He was undrafted from Fresno State. Really earned him a spot on this team. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Really earned him a spot on this team last year with that pick 6. And so this year with injuries to Dre Greenlaw and Alex Singleton, Drew Sanders, Justin Sternad, and Lavelle Bailey had to step up. And so from Lavelle Bailey's pass coverage is always elite. It's always intact. But one thing we're hearing more that we haven't before is his run defense. And we talked about this. So he's all over the field with first, second, third giving players. Sean Payton said he's playing good. He looks like an NFL linebacker. He's young. He's only his rookie contract. So his stock is way, 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 way up. Second, I'm going to have to go with Riley Moss. I'm gonna have to go with Riley Moss. Speaking of Riley Moss, I'm gonna pivot back to Pat Bryant for just a half second. In addition to Pat Bryant being a riser and his stock is up, is because Pat Bryant has been able to beat every DB on routes, whether it's 7-on-7s, Pat Surtain a couple times, Jaquan McMillan, Riley Moss. So that's impressive for a rookie. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. Back to Riley Moss. Riley Moss has been all over the field. He's healthy. He's turning into a PBU monster, which is what we expected to be opposite Pat Surtain. So it seems that Riley Moss heard the noise. He saw the draft pick. And he thanks for the like, guys. Appreciate the thumbs up. What was I just saying? I just missed what I was saying. I was talking about Riley Moss. Yes, he saw the draft pick of Jahdae Barron at 20. And I personally never thought Jahdae Barron was going to play on the outside. I could just look at his stature and his film and say he can play the outside, but for the NFL, outside is not going to be his primary. It's going to be the slot. Sean Payton confirmed that. But with that being said, Riley Moss really stepped into the plate and has really stepped up his second year. And I can see Riley Moss being second team All-Pro DB this year because I think he's going to be that good. So we got two risers on offense, two risers on defense. We got Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, and we got LaVell Bailey and Riley Moss. So it's just the young guys all around really stepping up. Troy Franklin's on his second year, Pat Bryant's on his first, LaVell Bailey's on his second year, Riley Moss is on his third. So it's these young guys who are developing. Draft and develop was the name of the game, which the owner said when they came in. And so that's what we're doing, and that's the right direction we're headed in. All right, so some fallers. Okay. I'm going to have to go with Devon Bailey. I'm going to have to go on offense, Devon Bailey. Devon Bailey got injured at the end of mandatory minicamp and missed those reps. And in that, Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant really filled that gap. They really, really filled that gap. And so from then, they've not looked back. And Devon Bailey has made a couple plays. He is Devon Bailey. But I think that this year we will see – I think there's a possibility this year we'll see Devon Bailey's ceiling. Devon Bailey is an older receiver. He's on his rookie contract. So at the end of his rookie contract, he'll be 30, if not 31. We know what we get from him. He's a good route runner, good possession receiver. I think Pat Bryant can do what Bailey does. Bailey's just a little bit taller. But he missed mandatory minicamp. And then he came back and for one day of training camp, and he missed the next day, came out with a leg sleeve, was limited a little bit. And the meantime, while he's missing that, Pat Bryant and Troy Franklin are just stacking days. They're just stacking days. So I have him as a stock down because that injury, and especially with his wide receiver competition, and everybody vying for snaps, every rep matters. Every practice matters. And unfortunately, due to injury, he missed a couple. So I have him as stock down, and he's become less talk. And it seems like Troy Franklin, and this is where that, like I said, that ceiling's maxed out, where Devon Bailey has a high floor but a lower ceiling. Troy Franklin has a lower floor but a higher ceiling, and now you're starting to see Troy Franklin and start to climb while Devon Bailey may be able to climb. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. But his climbing is limited. It's incremental. So he may climb every once in a while some other guys are doing leaps and bounds, and he will be passed up, if not this year. So I'm going to have Devon Bailey as a stock down so far going to this joint practice. Johnny, I'm going to get to your comment next when we get to defense. Second, I'm going to have to go with, on the offensive side of the ball, Tyler Bidet. I'm going to go with Tyler Bidet. Similar to the wide receiver competition, there's a running back competition as well. We know the first two slots are sealed. Third, I said it was Jalil's spot, but I think it's Jalil's spot to lose. It's not written in Sharpie, but it's his spot to lose. And after that, Estime, Watson, Bidet. Now, over the last week, we've heard a lot about Watson and Estime really stacking days and having good days. So their stock would probably be honorable mentions if their stock is being up. Instead of going two receivers, maybe I could have gone Troy Franklin and Blake Watson and Troy Franklin and Audric Estime. But either way, you guys see it. These two running backs have definitely stepped up, and they've been stacking days day after day. And I haven't really heard anything about Tyler Bidet out the backfield, making big runs. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. I just heard he's a good pass blocker. But I've heard Blake Watson and Audric Estime making some good plays. I've heard Dobbins and Harvey making some good plays as well. I haven't heard that about Bidet. I haven't heard about Bidet much at all. So he may be a practice squad guy again, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't stay there and he went to another team. So I have him as stock down. So Vele and Bidet are stock down on offense. And for defense, which is where I'm going to go to Johnny's comment. Johnny says, from what I heard, Jaquan McMillan stock has dropped a lot this camp, has been getting burned like crazy. I've heard, not burned like crazy, but I've heard people beat him a couple times. And for a third or fourth year guy, what year is he in? Fourth or fifth? He's a veteran. You shouldn't be burned. And I think that's where I can see where you're coming from is you're in this long, you've been in the system this long, you've been in the defense. You're always going to get burned. That's going to be happening, but not as often as we hear it, as we should, and especially by rookies. The reason why I wouldn't say Jaquan McMillan's stock is down is because I don't think Jahdae Barron's stock is up. And so if Jaquan McMillan's stock is down, but Jahdae Barron's stock is up, then it's a wash because Jaquan is the starter. And so Jahdae has to take that position from Jaquan. Now, Vance Joseph said he's getting better. He's smart. He's where he's supposed to be. I'm just not hearing any PBUs, but it doesn't sound like they're throwing much in the slot anyway. So I see where Johnny's coming from on this one. But my first stock down is going to be Man, that defense is so elite. It's very hard. I guess I'd have to go with Jaquan. I'm going to have to agree with Johnny. Go with Jaquan. You know, there's been some reports that he's been beat a couple times. Not much, but because this defense is so stout, the front seven has been the front five have been absolutely monstrous. I would go stock down on both of our starting inside linebackers. I was going to say Alex Singleton, but I might as well just do both. I'm going to go both our starting inside linebackers. Offseason, we get Dre Greenlaw. He's healthy this year. Then he gets a quad injury. Then he goes out there and he's practicing, and he goes 100% all the time, which he maybe scale it back a little bit, which is probably why Sean Payton hasn't put him on the field the last few days because you do too much. And then he gets, he tweaks a muscle, and he's out for a few more days, but he's back out in pads. That's not, with Drew Sanders going out, that's not good news. And so then with Alex Singleton coming back from a torn ACL, not sure if he's 100%. And then he breaks his thumb, misses a couple days, comes out with a cast and pads. And then yesterday he leaves, he goes in the locker room, comes out without pads. So we don't know if these inside linebackers are going to do the joint practice. We don't know if they're going to be there Saturday. We don't know if they're going to play any preseason games. So I'm saying stock down for the starting inside linebacker group because we just don't know. I think they've been on the field together once this whole offseason in pads. And when it came to the one-on-one drills, Dre Greenlaw got hurt. And I think the day before that, Alex Singleton broke his thumb. So we signed another inside linebacker, but I'm just going to go stock down. And that's the missing key piece to this defense. That's going to determine whether or not this defense is elite, is whether our starting inside linebackers are healthy throughout the season. But, guys, that's my stock up and stock down. Now we're getting ready to do a preview of the joint practice tomorrow. So, Travis Santa Clara play the 49ers. Shanahan. I think we're going to win this joint practice. I think we're tired of beating each other. I'm going to start with why I think we're going to win, and then I'm going to go close with why I think they're going to lose. I think we're going to win. One is because I think our defense, it's expected that we're going to have the number one defense. With that being said, we have two recent former 49ers playing against a former team. That's one. Two, Brandon Ayuk is not playing. I think Ricky Parcell is injured as well. So I think their receiving core is Jawan Jennings and George Kittle. There's still Kyle Shanahan, so you can still be creative with the motion of the backfield. And you have Christian McCaffrey you have to worry about as well. So their offense is still decent. Their offense can still be top 10. They lost. Debo's not there anymore. Brandon Ayuk is recovering. Ricky Parcell is recovering. And Jawan Jennings wants to get paid. But I think that our defense is just overmatched for their offense. I think we're used to the outside zone scheme. It's not going to work on us. I think with Talanoa Hufanga back there communicating, and hopefully with our inside linebackers starting communicating, we should be able to shut down their offense and create tons and tons and tons of pressure and frustrate them on the offensive side of the ball. Our offensive line is better than their defense. They lost Dre Greenlaw. They lost Talanoa Hufanga, so they've got a new inside linebacker and a new safety in. And they also lost Charvarius Ward, their best defensive back. So they've got some things in the defense that they're having to recover from. I believe they lost one defensive tackle as well, but signed another one. And so I think this is where we're really going to get to see our running game. And I said that I think Harvey, Ingram, and Franklin are going to do the best in the joint practice for our offense. Crew Talk Sports in the comment section says Broncos offense been going against the best defense. Everything is easier now. Yes, I think they're going to see less pressure, less disguised looks, less aggressiveness. So he's just going to pick, Robert Saleh's defense runs a lot of zone. He rushes 4 and then runs zone. If you rush 4 against this Broncos offensive line, Bo Nix will tear you apart and have all day. But Troy Franklin, RJ Harvey, and Evan Ingram. I'll start with RJ Harvey. I think RJ Harvey it's his first time playing against another defense that's not the Broncos. I think he's going to be surprised with the lanes that he has, and he's going to surprise everyone with his speed and his catching ability. Number 2, Evan Ingram. That connection with him and Bo Nix is already there. It's going to be hard without Dre Greenlaw to try and Talanoa Hufanga and Charvarius Ward to try and cover a tight end like Evan Ingram. That's a mismatch. I think Sean Payton's going to have fun with that. Evan Ingram's going to be a consistent target. I wouldn't be surprised if he had like 5 or 6 receptions on the day and 2 or 3 first downs. And then finally, Troy Franklin. Like I said earlier, Troy Franklin's speed is just different for a guy with that size. And if they're using him the way he is and he's confident, he's making diving catches, that's someone else that they're going to have to worry about in addition to Evan Ingram. So I think RJ Harvey and Troy Franklin specifically for speed. Evan Ingram is fast, but he's just a mismatch. And I think that San Francisco's defense is recovering. Robert Saleh's back, so they're having to learn a new system. Some of them already remember the system and know it. Some of them are learning it again for the first time. In addition to losing some players, I think that this is going to be a good joint practice, and I think it's also going to turn into a win Saturday. But, guys, that is today's show of Orange and Blue Blitz. We went over the stock up, stock down. Troy Franklin, Pat Bryant, stock up. Lavelle Bailey, Riley Moss, stock up. What did I say? Tyler Bidet and Devon Bailey, stock down. Jaquan McMillan and the inside linebacker core, stock down. And so, I think we're going to come out with a success. I think our offensive line, I think this practice is going to be about the trenches. And we're going to learn immediately. Appreciate the thumbs up, guys. We're going to learn immediately that our trenches is just as good as it was last year, if not better, due to continuity reasons. Guys, today is Wednesday, which means Broncos talk tonight at 6 p.m., and you guys aren't going to want to miss that. And Saturday also means that the Get Bucked Game Day show will be up and running. Let me confirm that because the game is so late and it's at a weird time on Saturday. I'll be at work, so I won't be able to host it. We'll see if we can get someone to stand in and host it. I always want to host my show on the first game of the season, but sometimes you just can't. But the Get Bucked Game Day show is going to be, so if the game starts at 10 p.m. Central, it'll start at 9 p.m. Central leading up to the game. And afterwards, we may have Buck Your Feelings post-game show, but that's going to be a really, really late show. So we'll just have to see. But you guys have to hit that notification bell so that way you guys know and you guys don't miss out on anything. Mile high salute to you guys as we get out of here. I appreciate you guys coming into another episode of Orange and Blue Blitz. Don't forget to tune in to Broncos Talk, and we're going to have another live show this Friday, same time at 12 Central Time. So you guys aren't going to want to miss that. I love you all. Mile high salute. Don't forget to tune in tonight at 6 p.m. and we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I don't have a show tomorrow, huh? But we're all going to be talking about the joint practice, and then we'll come and review that Friday with me here at Orange and Blue Blitz. Mile high salute. I love you guys, and we'll see you.